Okay, this is. How's it going?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm just here with Gary. We're live over here in Scottsville, Kentucky, home of the original Dollar General. The very first Dollar General was here. Their headquarters used to be here. There's a few paranormal areas over here. There's an old Hobby Florist building that had a underground railroad tunnel, and where the slaves would escape and go in there and seek refuge. So that's something we may check out at a future date. But the reason I'm here with Gary, he's been hearing stuff here in his apartment here in Scottsville. Like he heard a woman's voice. What did she tell you?
Just told me to get out of her house. I told her I was at my house, not hers.
So the previous tenant passed away in this apartment, and she was not found for at least a week. And so that was what, a couple years ago, maybe? Yeah, so it's fairly recent. And so Gary asked us to come over tonight. We got some equipment set up. Thought we'd do our live broadcast here from an actual location that's actually having activity. Just me, Gary, and we got the dog Apache here. He seems pretty content. So,
Did you take any equipment with you or anything? Maybe we can try to get something going over there.
We've got equipment set up. We got the paranormal Paramove in the next room. We've got two REM pods, REM pot. We've got K2 meters. We've got cat balls. We got what else we got? I think that's about everything. We got recorders going right now, audio.
I'll tell you what, if you got the Paramoose set up, let's go ahead and run that, and we'll kind of give that little explanation of what that is.
We call this the paranormal Paramoo, and if a spirit or any kind of anyone comes around and ring the cowbell, then we know something's around. And just in case we don't have enough cowbell, we got more cowbell down here.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
I could have used a little more cowbell. I could have used a little more cowbell.
All right, that's one of the devices and stuff that you put together. In our paranormal group, you put a lot of our devices together and stuff like that, and run a lot of the electronics and stuff like that. There we go. So maybe we'll see something go off tonight. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
I guess let's go ahead and kick it off with the norm.
Sure.
He's back.
Oh, is he back?
It's not showing up red as it's hot. That's where I put it on red hot. Yeah. It doesn't show up as red. What? There's a thing out as white as can be. It looks like sometimes it's supposed to light through on it too. The sun, and then you see clear, look.
Okay, hold on a minute. Just let me film this real quick.
He didn't leave.
Tic-tac,
Go back. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, looking at it, of course, I would want to say, it's just some kind of light sitting on the ground or something like that, kind of going off. But you can actually see like a sphere shape around it.
Like a dome.
So
Like a dome.
right. So it's contained. It's not just a light thing going off. Like there's a circular.
That might explain how those dogmen disappeared and show back up. And like Bigfoot disappears and shows back up.
Well, I mean, I do love that theory on that. That aspect and stuff like that. So what Phil's talking about is some people believe in stuff like this, that we only get these glimpses and we only get sightings and stuff of Dogman and Bigfoot and these different cryptids and stuff, and we don't really find remains from them or things like this. And maybe that's because they're more of a interdimensional being and they're crossing in and out. So we're getting those glimpses as they're crossing in and out, which falls to a lot of stories with Land Between the Lakes down there. Sheriff Peter down there, he says that when he sees he's encountered these dogmen a couple times down there, and when he has seen them, they're kind of transparent. You can kind of see through them a little bit, and that could be them kind of crossing into a void or another a portal going to another dimension, because we know that there's multiple dimensions.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that stuff's coming out of those dimensions, imagine what that just the home of that dimension could look like.
It's like that old Buckaroo Banzai movie they came out with.
Yeah.
Where he goes into those other dimensions.
That's definitely, wow, that's a cool video. I haven't seen that one. All right, let's check this one out.
And all of a sudden it walked up and I seen this big hairy figure about 9.5 foot tall. I said, man, that's one of them Bigfoot. I read about it in a book, in a little old book I got at the library about a Bigfoot. And it had Loch Ness Monster in it and all that stuff, the monster book. So I'm looking at this thing. I said, good God, it's over top the fence. I said, what is that? I said, who are you? And they went, whoa! Like that right there. And I said, okay, I'm warning you, man. I said, you throw another stick at me or a rock, I'm gonna shoot. So I said, I'll scare it to death. So that's what I was thinking. I'll just shoot over its head. And man, that thing went, whoa, and it threw a big rock and it landed right by me. I said, bam, I shot, boom. He went over its head. I didn't shoot to kill it, I shot over it. Well, that thing squalled out, whoa! It did it for like a good 5 minutes. Never stopped screaming. It knocked me down. I rolled on the ground. And I'm sitting there, good God,
I don't even know what to
Good
think
old
about
Turtle Man.
that.
Yeah. Live action.
Well, I mean, with the noise he was kind of explaining and stuff like that, and I guess demonstrating. We have seen videos and stuff. We've come across videos and found videos and stuff like that where it was something sounding gave kind of like a high pitched squeal, kind of scream like that. Like I want to say, kind of like a bolder pig kind of squeal. Like a more aggressive, deeper tones kind of pig squeal.
Some people say it sounds kind of like a mountain lion too, but Turtle Man's got a whole series out on YouTube for him and his girlfriend, Turtle Girl. They've been out there, and he's got hit with rocks, and something hit him with a rock, and it was from so far away you couldn't even see where it came from. And then they got kind of freaked out a couple times. They were over there in eastern Kentucky running around, and so we'd love to get Turtle Man out on one of our expeditions. That would be great.
Yeah.
So if you're watching Turtle Man, we're inviting you, brother. Come on out.
So kind of going on with kind of some Bigfoot stuff. We'll kind of keep continuing with that.
You guys, I just wanted to show you some cool little things that I found. I just found, you guys know we're doing construction on a house, and I'm so excited about this. Yeah. So, as my husband removes, and my son-in-law, removes the old cedar, some of it breaks up, and there's some pretty, sharp pieces. My husband likes to, he tries to get them in a neat pile. As you can see, the wood just piles it neatly. Any of these little pieces of like this stuff, well, I think I might be stepping in footprints. They are piled neatly. This is not what I just found. We have, it looks like the beginning of the tic-tac-toe box right here. That's so fun. There's some little pieces of wood under. I'm trying to think if they were trying to make a glyph. That's just cool. No way he would have left this. I mean, this is actually kind of like a dangerous thing, but if this is little juveniles, they wouldn't know that. And I do see little footprints. Now I wear a size, a woman's 8, and they're smaller than my feet. And the thing that's I feel like is compelling, and it's not. This is a stone path, and it's packed pretty tightly down. But you can see the where some of these little things walked, and that's the difference. And I don't know why. I mean, they they must weigh so much more than we do, even the little ones. So yes, I just wanted to show you guys that. I thought it was pretty fun little find. So these are some of the various prints that I have found around my property and in the woods. They like to use all kinds of things to make different messages. I'm not sure what all these messages mean. Here's one, a little path of glyphs. Another tic-tac-toe box. Not sure what this is, but I do see tic-tac-toe in there. There's a cute little one. Another tic-tac-toe. An X. And other things. A Y is common. Another variation. This looks almost like a boat, and we found it under our house. Another tic-tac-toe box. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm really thinking that Bigfoot is playing tic-tac-toe.
I think it was just setting up some sticks. While you were showing that video, we had something over here. Gary's got a fiddle and a guitar over here. Something, he's doing it now, but something thumped the fiddles twice while we were watching that video. I have another larger video of that lady on our YouTube channel. After the podcast, it'll be on the YouTube channel. It was about 13 minutes long, so it was too big to upload for our podcast, but it goes into great detail how she communicates with Bigfoots. They send her images, and they kind of talk in her head. She can hear stuff talking to her. And the message from the Bigfoot community, from her, she's saying they want to know why when humans see them, they scream, why aren't humans scared of us? And they said they're kind of leery of us because of our government and everything else. They've been tracked and hunted and whatever, but they want to know why are we so scared of them. That was the message that she was communicating. But anyway, Gary was saying he's found stuff like that in the woods where it looks like, was it sticks or he's seen stuff like that around here out where stuff's piled up. What was that?
So that's like kind of saying like
Something else.
Talking about a higher of intelligence.
We just had something else get messed with. Awesome.
Well, while we're sitting, you said you had some cat balls, right?
Yeah, but this is something that's knocking stuff around and making noise. It played with this fiddle twice over there.
Maybe we can set up a cat ball, and you can kind of, where we can see it on the screen here, and maybe we can ask something to try to talk to it, touch it, get that thing rolling.
Yeah, after we go through the news, the second hour of the podcast, we fully intend to do that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That sounds good. So we'll keep it rolling. We'll keep going with. So we got one more Bigfoot thing here, so we'll go with that.
The Bigfoot in my life since about 2009. They've got me as part of their clan. I have one that's with me no matter where I go. Everything is verified on my channel.
If you don't live with the Foots, you don't know the Foots.
They're not Bigfoot, they're not Sasquatch, they're the first people.
What do you mean by first people?
They were here long before us.
How long?
They came here with aliens. They told me this part. They came here with aliens tens of thousands of years ago. The aliens came here to take gold from our land. They brought the Bigfoot to protect them from the dinosaurs. To protect them from the dinosaurs while they mined the gold. That's when they got here tens of thousands of years ago. That's why they're the first people.
So they are the first indigenous people of color in the northern landmass?
They're the first people that was ever here.
So do you think that part of the reason that they stay in secrecy is that they're worried that they might not be able to survive under white supremacy?
No, they don't trust our government.
The Foots don't trust the government.
They know what these governments are about, and they don't trust them.
The Foots know what's going on in this government. They know everything's going on around everywhere.
Back in 1960s, the CIA took a Bigfoot in, put it into a room, and captured it. They thought they captured it. If he didn't want to go, it wasn't going. They put it in a room, had cameras on it, and they watched it go poof and gone. CIA left them alone after that.
So you're not a fan of the CIA?
Huh?
You're not a fan of the CIA?
I'm not a fan of none of this government. I've never voted. They're all lying. It's all bull. And I don't vote. It's going to get straightened out because I had a call out about that.
All the things I've called out pretty much have happened. When things come out of my mouth, they happen. It's been the way all my life.
I called out 6 years ago. It was 2 months after Trump was in office. I had a call out that I wasn't even in a conversation, just ran out of my mouth at a buddy of mine's house. They say 70% of Congress is going to be gone. The corruption is going to be dealt with. The corrupt will be gone. There'll be no more corruption. We're going to get a paycheck. I don't know what that means. We're going to get a paycheck. They're going to use the RICO Act to prosecute these people. The RICO Act's getting talked about pretty heavy right now.
You think there should be no government or just a little bit?
Very little, if any. Somebody's got to rule something, but they got to do it right. Freedom, total freedom, that's what we got to have.
Are you an anarcho-communist?
Am I what?
Squatch on!
That was pretty wild.
I think that guy's kind of a little crazy.
Yeah, or he's got a hold corroborating some theories that we haven't thought of. I've heard the UFO Bigfoot thing before, but bringing them here to help keep the dinosaurs back while they mined the gold. They didn't get all the gold. They left some behind because we're still finding it. I'm not sure why aliens would need gold, but I don't know how how their operating systems are.
Well, I would definitely be a big fan of watching Bigfoots battle dinosaurs with machine guns.
That would make a cool movie. Kind of like that, the movie a while back where, what was it? Was it 69, 96, where he gets dropped off back in dinosaur days. His UFO crash or his spaceship crash lands and he has to fight him and then survive to get rescued and all that.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
It was out a couple years ago. Really good show. I can't just having trouble remember the name of it right now. The guy that played Darth Vader's son, or no, I'm sorry, Han Solo's son, the actor that played him, he's the one in that movie. And he ends up trying to be like Darth Vader, and then he ends up killing Han Solo, his own dad.
Yeah, the Adam dude?
Yeah, that dude. He's in it, and he goes, somehow his spaceship gets somehow gets back in that time period, and he crash lands, and then he ends up like fighting for survival, and there's like a little kid, and they're battling dinosaurs and stuff, like velociraptors and everything. It's pretty crazy.
I think his name's Adam Driver.
That would be him. I just couldn't think of it right now. I kept thinking Adam, Andrew.
I don't think I've heard of that one. I'll have to probably check into that one.
It's an excellent movie. Good sci-fi.
All right, this will be a good kind of thing. So we're talking about some devices and spirits talking and stuff like that. So let's check out this one.
The thing's moving. It's only the second time in 2 years I've seen, almost 2.5 years I've ever seen it move. Last time it moved real slow. But it's moving kind of slow right now, ain't it? Thank you for moving that. That's pretty cool. Can you hit one of them balls or knock over one of them blocks or hit the red box again?
I thought it was a candle flicking at first, but we didn't have no candles lit.
Well, what's cool about that thing moving is, wind can't move that.
No. You were there, Gary. You seen it moving too, didn't you? Kitchen. No, I mean, what we were just talking about.
Is it clicking?
I don't see it clicking.
But I'm understand.
Oh, it ain't clicking now. We've got some more activity in the kitchen, apparently. Some REM pod's ticking in there a little bit.
So you said the past tenant there that had lived there had passed away.
Yes.
How was it? Just natural causes, or was she sick, or?
You know what she died from? The lady that lived here.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, but they know she wasn't found for at least a week. Maybe if she wants to speak to us tonight, she can tell us what happened. We'll try to get the message out.
I've been trying to ask her since I lived here.
He'd been asking ever since he lived here, and all he heard one night was a woman's voice saying, "What are you doing in my house?" That's why he called me over here. He said, "Stuff's falling off the walls." What else you got, Gary? Anything else?
Just little noise. You've been here.
She didn't call you tater salad, did she?
No. I've seen some weird things. I've seen like these little doors right here.
Yeah.
I've seen them be open just a little bit.
Yeah.
I've seen the bathroom door be wide open, go back and it be shut.
Yeah. There's no heavy drafting here or anything.
But I've even opened the door and took the front door and closed it
just to see if there's like a vacuum or anything. Nothing. He's been trying to do a little debunking himself. He's one of our members of our team, so he's been on a few investigations with us, and so when he had stuff happening in his own house, he's like, "Hey man, can you bring over some equipment?" I'm like, "Okay." So here we are.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see something. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
The Boojum is a mysterious creature said to inhabit the Balsam Mountains of Haywood County, North Carolina. Described as a tall, shaggy, gray creature with a human-like face, he is often seen from afar on mountain cliffs or heard moaning in the woods. While harmless unless threatened, the Boojum is known for his love of pretty girls and precious gemstones. There are stories of the Boojum observing women bathing in mountain streams and of his encounters with a local girl named Annie, who fell in love with him. The legend also suggests that the Boojum hides his gemstones in stone jugs filled with moonshine, a practice that has led to humorous anecdotes of unsuspecting gem seekers.
But they think it could be like a caveman. Another
have that good time with that moonshine.
Oh yeah, the Boojum. Another name for a possible Bigfoot type creature. Yep, got a REM pod's ticking right now. I see it now, Gary. Yeah, we got a little action. Gary wants to know if those are like a caveman Bigfoot.
Like the video you just saw, or the
he wants to know, yeah, that thing he just saw. He wants to know if that creature or Bigfoots in general are thought to be more like a caveman or more like an ape.
Everything that I've read and stuff like that, just a close comparison's always going to primates.
The scientists have tried to create it, and they created it with the hair and everything, but it had like a human face.
Yeah, that's what it said. His face was like human.
I mean, I would never really put it past any kind of governments or anything like that, tampering with stuff and trying to, experiment and do different things on stuff like. I mean, a lot of the big or the dogmen conversations and stuff like that. A lot of people believe that that's military engineering, trying to weaponize these creatures and stuff like that to use in combat kind of situations and stuff. So I wouldn't put it past them at all to try to make anything.
Yeah, because humans and animals can't really procreate, so it's got to be done in a lab setting.
Right? Yeah. You couldn't just have a mix. I mean, that's like,
Can't they do like a do like a DNA?
Yeah, so we're thinking like DNA.
If they could capture some of the Bigfoot's hair or something, get DNA off of it.
They found some hair, but it comes back inconclusive. Sometimes it says primate, sometimes it says human, then it says inconclusive. Like it has characteristics of humans and apes, but nothing, no known species comes back.
And going like to the engineered theory and stuff like that. I mean, it would have to be something engineered or created if it's not a natural thing or something from another portal, because it's just like you can't. So we had talked to somebody on the show before. We'd had a guest on, and they were kind of talking about aliens interbreeding and stuff like that with people and wanting to impregnate women. And so the only problem falls with that is that means that we would have to have the same DNA. We would have to have the same strands as them to be able to do that. You can't breed a cat and a dog together. They have to be in the same DNA strand to be able to do that. So I would say if, like these dogmen and these different cryptids and stuff like that, it would have to fall. I like the portal theory because I'm real big on the different dimensions and stuff like that. So that kind of makes more sense to me as being, a possibility, and it completely answers all the answers of why we only see them, why we don't find remains, why haven't we found dead bodies. It kind of helps fill those gaps in that, but I wouldn't put nothing past, I would definitely think that the government would be doing experiments and stuff and creating these things. I mean, just like Land Between the Lakes, the thing that happened in the 70s there, military came in and they shut that area down and they moved in and they were looking for these things. And that's where a lot of the stories came out saying that people think that they engineered them and these are, experiments that got loose and they can't really control them anymore. And that's what a lot of the stories around Land Between the Lakes is with dogmen.
Like some of their military assets escaped. Well, if the aliens created us, it would make sense they could come back and do whatever they want, interbreed, whatever. They know our whole DNA chain if they created it, that they want to manipulate it. They're far advanced from us, so sense.
That's if you dive deep into like the Anunnaki aliens and stuff. That's what that whole thing is that they created us, and we're their experiment for survival and self-evolution. And just like some of the pyramids and stuff, they're trying to find answers. If they have found our DNA code sketched in on these pyramid walls, when DNA wasn't even around, nobody knew anything about that. So how would our strands of DNA be sketched out and the mathematics that goes with it? Then, and that's what a lot of the high stories is, and a lot of the conspiracy talks and stuff like that is from the Anunnaki aliens.
Kind of makes sense.
But I guess there's so many different versions, and so people we've talked to and stuff, they talk of different clans, different, just like we as humans, we have different races, different creeds, and the extraterrestrial, it's like that too. You have many different, different kind of branches and different kind of groups of extraterrestrials like the Greys, the Anunnakis, lizard people.
Well, you got like trillions.
Billions,
We just got our universe, but you think beyond it, there's like billions and trillions of other universes. So there's the possibility of other life, advanced civilizations. I mean, it's pretty infinite if you think about it. There's like, where does space stop and start? It's like, is it a big circle? Where does it?
I mean, if space is infinite, you look at the things that what does it take to breed life? What is your essence of life? Right? It's sun, it's water, and it's air, right? We know that that's on other planets. We know even in our neighboring solar system, which is Alpha Centauri, there's a planet in that system that it's third planet in the chain, and it looks pretty much the same elements and everything of life that Earth has. So to say that there's not forms of life on there, that would be kind of ridiculous. To say that out of the infinites of space, that we are the only beings, that's ridiculous. Now, do I go as far as to believe that they're traveling to us and visiting us? That's where I fall in a problem of things because of the distance that you have to travel. I mean, look at the problems we have on going so far in space. The only thing that you could travel, especially you're talking out of the solar system, would be light speed, but that really can't happen. If you're traveling at light speed, let's say light speed's real. You're traveling at light speed. You could hit a rock the size of a marble, and it's going to completely destroy your ship or whatever you're traveling in.
I think they're
to navigate that seems kind of impossible. And if there is things out there that has that technology, that already shows how far more, way advanced they are than us. And that's
if they're made out of like plasma or particles, they just go through stuff and absorb it, and it goes right through them and on out the other side, or it could be interdimensional, like a wormhole, like Stargate. You walk through there and you end up somewhere else. You don't have to worry about going light speed. You just walk into the other dimension and you're there.
Well, that's kind of your thoughts on black holes. What's on the other side of a black hole? Good black holes be wormholes in time.
I keep thinking there's a big pile of junk on the other side of there. It sucks it in like a vacuum cleaner, spitting it out. There's a big pile on the other side. It's probably like them asteroid belts you run into and stuff.
Well, and I guess that's another problem that I have. Like, we talk to a lot of different people. We watch a lot of videos. We research this a lot. And I can't see for a being to have that, to be that far more advanced than we are, to have that technology for any kind of interstellar travel. Why would they want to study us? What interest would there be in us? They are already so more sophisticated and more intelligent than we are.
Well, humans and maybe some animals have a soul. They could be doing some soul mining. Maybe they need our soul to put in another being or something like that. I don't know. Everybody's got a soul. When you die, you lose 0.21 grams of weight. Every person, an infant, an old person, big person, little person, no matter what race, creed, whatever you are, the second you die, you lose exactly 0.21 grams. They think that's the weight of the soul leaving the body. And maybe they're doing something with our souls. Or maybe there's something they need from us that kind of like when they have the baby in the womb and when the baby's ready, they come and take it. And there's something maybe it's like they had some weird COVID type disease and all the female aliens are dying off and the species is going to go extinct. So they need our women to carry the babies like surrogate. I don't know. I mean, there's some reason they need us. I'm not sure what it is, but there's been.
Well, I like to think like I hold that theory. I hold that thought process in my head, just trying to look at it from the scientific aspect of it, I guess. But what would they want from us if they're that more advanced? But at the same time, what do we do as people? We watch ant colonies. We watch, the bee colonies and stuff, and we study that. So that's not really, I guess, any different in the realm of why they would want to study us.
So, like, you got bee colonies, for instance. So you got to have honeybees. or for our fruit, our vegetables, and our plants for us to survive. And then you got these killer bees coming in, killed a bunch of them. So we had to figure out how to deal with the killer bees and how to procreate the honeybees and how to maybe get some of them interspecies breed. You know, we've done a lot of science to try to preserve our bees, because if we don't preserve our bees, we're not going to be here. It could be something like that. We're like the aliens' bees, and so maybe something attacked it. Another alien race attacked them, and then they need us to help restore their, their population. You know, restore or boost their population. What do you think, Gary? Sound plausible?
My opinion is different. Anyway.
Okay, what do you got?
I think the good Lord above created them.
Yeah.
And I think he's the one that puts the life in us. He's the one that will take the life from us.
So where do the aliens fit in? The UFOs?
I don't know. My dad, years ago, he always told me, he said he believed there's life on other planets. Maybe not in our solar system. Maybe in the solar system millions and millions of light years away. And he thinks that they did come back to Earth. And we do see them. My dad was in the military, and he's seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of government stuff that we don't know that's going on either.
Right.
I think NASA has created a UFO. I think the United States military has created some type of UFO. So it will throw the enemies off if they flew it and shot whatever they shot from them. So, yeah, I believe that there is alien life out there. And I do believe that they have been here on Earth, but they wasn't the one that created it.
You think God made the aliens?
Yeah.
Like he made us?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, we'll kick on. We'll keep going with the alien conversation because I always love talking about it. Super fun. We just got a couple more little things to check out here. Talking about aliens, let's check this one out.
It's one of the main Israeli aerial bases in the area there. So Hezbollah attacked this base on the beginning, just like a few months ago, after the killing of one of its main military leaders, Wissam al-Tawil. Later on.
I'm not sure if the audio was playing on that one, Vinny, but it was a video of a triangular shaped UFO spotted over Israel about a week ago when they were getting the Iranian missiles lobbed in at them. And this triangle shaped UFO just showed up and it started helping like knock some of the missiles out of the sky. But we don't know if it's, man-made or if it's alien origin or, we knew they had the Iron Dome and the Arrow system and the Arrow 2, but this thing was like a triangle-shaped UFO flying around and it was just like knocking them out of the sky. And they've got that was what that video was. I don't know if the audio played on.
Yeah, it did. It was just pretty quiet. So where you're sitting far back is probably just hard to hear on your end. I heard it. But that does kind of go like, so that conversation we had with Candace a couple weeks ago kind of falls into that and stuff, and where we were diving deep into that conversation where, would they want to help us? Are they coming like with warnings? Are they, telling us, hey, we're inevitably going to destroy ourselves? Maybe it's a situation where they're like, hey, you all are, you're pushing this too far. Maybe we need to get involved now.
Right. Trying to step in.
I'm not hearing nothing. just comes and goes.
Well, the air just shut off.
I'm talking about
Oh,
the equipment.
Got something rattling over there?
yeah. We had a little bit of something. We had a rim pot a little bit ago, and then something was messing around with his fiddle, so I put a cat ball in the fiddle.
Well, let us know if that goes off while we're kind of going through these.
Okay.
Genevieve Mary is taking a video of her daughter when something downright creepy is caught on camera. Genevieve writes, "Heard my daughter talking to someone, so I called her over and asked who, but I didn't notice it until after watching it. Only her and I were home. This is what she caught. Pay close attention to the background or you'll miss it."
Lorelei, come here. Lorelei, who are you playing with? What are you doing?
There appears to be someone or something walking with Genevieve's daughter. This footage was taken in 2016, and it wasn't until recently that Genevieve had noticed this. Needless to say, she was left disturbed by the footage. Now, it could be that the apparition is actually her daughter's shadow, but if you look closely, it appears to be taller than her daughter. Given how lighting affects the length of a shadow depending on its position, this could still be a silhouette. However, if it were actually a shadow, we'd still be able to see the door in the background, but instead, our view of it is blocked as it passes by, acting like a solid figure, and it doesn't warp or bend against the door, which is something a shadow would do. Genevieve is certain that this isn't a shadow, but rather something else, and viewers can't help but think the same. But of course, I'll let you decide as to what this might be. A shadow, or something else. Feel free to let me know what you think.
He was talking about that, or go the triangle plane shoot.
Mm-hmm.
They said that the military, that the U.S. Navy was out in the Red Sea.
Mm-hmm.
They were shooting the missiles as they was coming down.
But they were using missiles.
Reckon that could have been some kind of what they call it, drone?
It could have been.
Missile?
Maybe. I don't know if we got any drones that just kind of hovered. Gary was still thinking about the video with Israel. He thinks something might have been a drone or something. I'm not sure what would be walking with that child like that, though. If it's way bigger than the child, if it's not a shadow of the child.
Well, I really studied that video earlier, and I was kind of breaking it down. And at first, I'm already assuming somebody's just put a black sheet over him or something.
Yeah.
You know, staged video, of course, right?
Yeah.
But when I slowed it down and I brought it closer to me, it's kind of transparent.
Ah.
So you can see through it a little bit around the edges and stuff. So I wouldn't think that it'd be a sheet. And then, like you said, if it was a shadow, you would see the outline of the door in the background. So something definitely blocked as it went through. And then just having a regular person walk through, you know, as that little girl kind of comes around the corner, you see her color, her form, her shape immediately. Yeah. That other was just like a black blob.
She was just going through older videos of her child, so it wasn't like it could have it was staged, like somebody had a black screen mesh or something flying through there.
Right, and the video says on the bottom of it, it says it's from 2016. So if this was just a hype thing or something like that,
yeah,
she would have done this in 2016.
It would have been recent,
right?
That makes sense.
And so that's why I put this video on when I saw that one, because you see this one a little more distinct, but it kind of still gives that same totally different people, different time, probably even different part of the country. But you still have that same kind of sight on it. And I don't know. I'll let you check it out, see what you think.
In this next video, a grandmother is celebrating her birthday while being surrounded by friends and family, all of whom are singing happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday to you.
As the video plays out, it seems that this footage is nothing more than just a normal video of someone recording their grandma, or at least it seems like that. Because as you continue to watch, something happens that makes this video the stuff of nightmares. This is what was caught. As everyone collectively sings, a shadow-like figure bolts behind the grandma. In a swift motion, the figure is gone. It rushes over at full speed, but not so fast that we can't discern what this was. As viewers have noted, it kinda looks like a child, or a girl to be exact, who's running at an inhuman speed. Perhaps it was running so fast that no one had noticed it except the camera. Now this video becomes a whole lot creepier when reading the description it came with. As it states, the grandmother in this footage had a daughter who unfortunately passed away many years ago. When she was alive, she would often run around the house while playing with her older sibling. It's for this reason that she believes that this was her spirit. But as always, you be the judge on what was captured. Was a ghost caught on camera, or had something else been caught?
I've seen stuff like that out of the corner of my eye, but not like direct like that, but that thing was hauling ass. I've seen stuff like that just go flying around. I was at Red Boiling Springs over there behind the Donahoe Hotel looking at a root cellar, and I caught out the corner of my eye and ran around. There's like a kitchen on the back of that hotel, and it was about like that, about that height, man, and it went around the corner of that building. It was so fast. It was just like a black blur, just like, psst. And yeah.
I'll see that.
When we get, when we have cameras and stuff set up, especially in investigations and stuff, we'll get stuff flying by the screen real quick, and usually it's going to be some kind of insect, something in that field. But that was way too big and distinct.
That was like a little kid running by there, and fast. Yeah, I don't think that was just a random shadow, the way it moved and how fast it was going. And I think the trucking, man.
Yeah, it definitely looked interesting. Anything else popping off?
That was a good capture there.
Yep. Anything else going on over there?
Not at the moment.
So just for anybody that may have just started watching or kind of tuned in, so why don't we tell everybody again, kind of where you're at and what's going on there? What's the situation there?
We're in Scottsville, Kentucky, about, 20 minutes east of Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it's kind of a nice back way to go if you're heading down to Gatlinburg or somewhere and avoid Nashville traffic. And straight shot down to like Westmoreland, Murfreesboro. But anyway, Gary lives over here. He's a member of our team. And he's his mom was living here with him for a while. She moved out recently. He's by himself, and he heard a woman saying, "What are you doing in my house?" And he's like, "What?" And he looked around. And he said stuff's getting knocked off the walls. They hear stuff knocking around and moving around. So he's like, "Hey, man, you think you could bring over some equipment?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're getting ready to do our podcast on Sunday. Yes, why don't we just do the podcast over here? Bring the equipment and see what we can get, live." So he was like, "Come on over." So that's why I'm here. He asked us to come and help check it out. So, and he's a member of our investigation team. So he helps us a lot out on investigations. So I said, "Yeah, he wants us to come and help him." So here I am.
So far, we've had like they're playing the fiddle.
Yeah.
And the REM pod's been on.
Yeah, the REM pod's been ticking. It's done it 3 times. Hopefully, maybe it'll do it on camera. We don't know, but it hasn't been steady. It's just a little activity here, and then we get a little activity over here, and like something's kind of just letting us know it's here, sort of.
So the activity, did it happen like while your mom still lived there, or did it kind of ramp after she had left?
Was the activity here while your mom was here, or is it ramped up since she left?
It's ramped up since she left.
He said part of it was he couldn't hear anything because she had the TV on all the time.
Fox.
She watched Fox News 24/7. And no other channel, just Fox News 24/7, as loud as it would go. So he said he couldn't hear anything.
Well, hopefully when we start diving into that, we'll maybe see something happen.
Yeah.
So this next one's one of your favorite things, Phil.
He loves his mom, but he said it was time for her to get her own place.
Yeah.
She's
Well, this next video is one of your favorite things.
The following footage was captured by this family's security camera. They record something truly out of this world. It's some sort of creature that looks like it floats across the screen and then it flies overhead. The question though is, what is this? It almost has the vibes of like Mothman. Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
So weird. Right now. You can go slow-mo. So weird. Right now. You can go slow-mo. So weird. Right now. You can go slow-mo.
There's something over there. We saw 2 of them, Vinny. One
Well,
looked like a fox.
It's not 2. You had it went up this direction, and then that was the shadow of it going over top.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you
like
saw
one was
it kind of
black.
go on the bottom of the screen, but then they're saying that it flew across the top, and that's the shadow flying across.
Yeah, I seen one flying, one running on the ground. I seen something pop up behind the car, and something like went up the gutter, like a dang raccoon or something like that.
It didn't look like it moved like any kind of animal, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The one running across, back and forth across the road looked like a fox to me, but like it almost looked like it was sped up. The film was sped up.
Could be.
Like he was, whatever he was moving.
Yeah, I just saw it labeled as Mothman, and I know that's up your alley.
Oh yeah, I'm all about some Mothman. Come on.
So it's hitting about 8 o'clock now, so we're at our second hour. So if you kind of want to, I don't know if you want to move around, we can kind of show some devices, explain kind of what you got set up, and what we're kind of going to do.
We can. I'm going to move this camera around, and then you guys let me know if you can see everything, or do I need to go to the other camera? Flip to the other camera, but so right here, we've got a camera set up right here. I don't know if you can see that. A tripod, and then got the guitar, and this was the fiddle. I put a cat ball on the fiddle, So I'll make it go off. So we were kind of hearing like that going off. So we're like, okay, so we put a cat ball
And
in the
nobody
fiddle.
definitely is there but you and Gary.
That's correct. It's just me and we got this guy, Mr. Apache. Can you say hi, Apache? Can you say hi, buddy? What you doing, buddy? Hi, special friend. What you doing? He's got a patch on his head so they called him Patchy. And then Gary's kind of like renamed him Apache like the Indians. What you doing there, buddy? You want to say hi? Hello? Hello? So every once in a while, he'll kind of look around, and Gary says every now and then he kind of growls at stuff, but he's been pretty cool since I've been here. He's been pretty chill. So we got that going on here in the bathroom. We got the spinner jug right there, and then got some motion lights in here. We got a K2 meter here. This picks up EMF. It'll also pick up seismic. This is the REM pot. If my hand gets close to it, depending on how close it gets, it'll be more intense. So that picks up like static, electromagnetic, like EMF, electromagnetic radiation, whatever. Here's the spinner jug. It's not spinning right now. And then try to take you in here. It's not a real big apartment, so it's kind of crazy he's having so much activity in this small place. But over here we've got a K2 meter set up here. We've got our REM pot there. That's the one that as it gets static or EMF, it also detects temperature drops. It will change. Like I'm going to demonstrate. Like if you get up here with your finger, see it's ticking. See it's ticking. Me getting close. If I get closer, it'll light up more lights. See the intensity? Depends on how close I get. It's more intense. So far, all we've got was this ticking like that. It did that 3 times. This one here, this one's got it's got a ball with, it's got reflective tape, bells. It's got a iridium ball on the top, and the copper coil brings in the energy. So they can ring the bells, move the ball, that kind of thing. Then over here we got the Paramove. Got the Paramove set up. We got a REM pot there. We got a cat ball here. Cat ball. We've got our bells, cowbells set up. So we put some wood blocks there just in case it's a childlike spirit wants to play with the blocks. So that's.
I could talk to my neighbor right there. He's been having a little bit of stuff going on at his.
Oh, the neighbors having stuff going on tonight too?
He should. It's been the last few weeks.
Yeah.
He's saying, like in his kitchen, he's been hearing stuff fall.
So the neighbors hearing stuff fall in his kitchen too. Well, we want to try.
Well, why don't you go to one of the areas there, kind of take a camera on there, and let's do like a setup. Ask something to move one of them cat balls or something, or see if we can get something going.
Okay. You guys can see down the bathroom there. You want to ask it, Gary? You live here. Maybe it'll give you more attention. I don't know. The lady of the house, are you still here? You want to say hello? Now's your opportunity. Come and touch one of these devices. We've got this got the spinner and a jug here. You can move that. Inside of there will let us know you're here. If you got a message for us. I know you asked Gary, why is he in your house? We'd like to talk to you, let you know Gary doesn't mean any harm. He's going to take good care of the place.
And see, so everybody watching, so this is like your setup and stuff when we're doing these investigations and different things, going on. We kind of get a call from people and stuff, so we'll go to their house and check things out for them. So we'll set this equipment out, and you just ask it questions. We want to communicate with it. We want it to set off one of these things, try to get that nice proof something's going on. So that's kind of what you're going to see Phil doing here. He's going to ask some questions. He's going to run that through and see if we can get one of these things to move or one of these pieces of equipment to hit.
I just saw you touch my K2 meter. Do you think you could do that again, please? You got any messages for us?
Hey, Phil.
How long did you stay here? Can you tell us how you passed away? This K2 went off once. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. This one right here. So I'm smacking it pretty hard. I can't. There. Not this one, but this one here next to it went off. Yeah, Gary.
We got a. Come over here.
We're gonna go in here, Gary. Thinks there may be something going on in here.
It's a cowbell.
Cowbell. What's the cowbell doing, Gary?
Look at the cowbell.
Hang on, everybody. Bear with us. Oh. Okay. The cowbell is moving, but it's not moving enough to ding. It is moving. I haven't been over there for a while. Looks like it's still moving. Are you moving that? Can you ding it? Can you smack it a little harder? We would be really impressed. Everybody needs a little more cowbell in their life. Can you guys see that moving, Vinny?
We can't really see it moving because with the color on when your camera's kind of moving a little bit with the color of the white on the chair, it's kind of making kind of like a little illusion. Can you get a little closer to it?
Yeah, hang on a second. I got an idea. I'm gonna light it up. Let me get my light. Can you guys see my light? See it moving? I'm going to bring you in closer, folks back home. Here we go. We're going in. You can see it. Can you see it moving now? I got the light on it.
Now, if this is going off, if this is moving, this will be the first time that the cowbell, the Paramoo, has gone off.
If they could just smack it a little harder, that would be great.
Phil has been waiting for what seems to be a lifetime for this to go off.
Red pod blinking.
Oh, that might be me, Gary, making that go off. Let me move this and see. No. This device here was just clicking, but it's not doing it right now. This device. I don't think, is that me doing that, Gary? I don't think so. Can you make that device go off again, please?
Yeah, because for you to be setting it off, you're going to have to be within inches of it.
Well, so I'll move my foot toward it and watch. So I get about there, but I wasn't that close.
You're about 4 inches from it there, 4 or 5 inches?
Yeah, I'm like 3 foot away right now.
Cat ball going off.
Cat ball going off by the Paramoo.
Now, see, everybody can see that. Nobody's been over there. Nobody's moving anything. And it definitely is going off. And they've had the bell moving. We haven't had it go off enough to get it to hear that ring.
This is ticking too. Thank you for doing that cat ball. Could you do it again? Are you the lady of the house? Can you tell us why you're still hanging around? You just like Gary?
trying to hold this thing still.
Your pod's going off again.
Gary, what do you got in this closet right here?
It's the air conditioner unit.
Okay, because I thought I saw a light kick it off and on. Yeah, the REM pod was going off.
Cowbell's still moving.
Yeah, cowbell's still moving. I'm trying to shine a light on it. It's moving a little bit. That little click and red flash you're getting is from my REM pod too. Can you knock over one of those blocks or knock something over? Gary says you're always knocking stuff over. We'd sure like to see you knock something over. We would really appreciate it. What was your name? We'd love to hear a disembodied voice right about now. If not, maybe our recorder will pick something up and we'll play it back later. Well, you came and moved her bell and played with her cat ball. You think you could do something else? What do you think, Gary? Why do you think she's still hanging around?
I don't know. She's as she's playing with that stuff, she's a humming like a tune.
You're hearing like a tune?
Yeah, like some kind of tune. She's a humming. I don't recognize it.
Now, Phil.
Yeah.
So we just had Laura message in. She lives next door to Gary.
Yeah.
And she said she thinks that maybe you kind of spun something up to come over there because now she's heard some things in her apartment. So we may want to check with her. We don't want to make her feel uncomfortable or anything. So if it's, you know what I mean? If it's kind of pushing something like that, then.
Yeah, we're not trying to antagonize anything. Does she want us to come over there?
So we may want to, we may just want to check with her and just make sure she's good. And, you know, we're not.
Cat ball. Cat ball.
And see, that cat ball's going off. They only go off by motion, and nobody's been around that. Nothing's moving.
Actually, the bell's moving again a little bit. It started moving.
Well, I'm saying like the chair's not moving.
No,
and we don't do things to do any kind of fake setups or anything like that because we want to see truth. We want to see real stuff.
Did she say she goes over next door too? Is she talking to you, or you just heard humming?
I don't know.
Is it time to?
I only met the woman alive once or twice.
Oh, you knew her?
She was a security guard at Dollar General.
The lady that died in this house?
Yeah. She was a security guard at Dollar General, and I met her once or twice. My son used to be a security guard of her, and that's how I met the lady. But I didn't know her name. So.
Do you want to tell anybody about the humming, or?
She just, I don't know. The lady was about this high. She was about
4 foot, about Dolly Parton height, without the hair. But,
I mean, she wore glasses.
I mean, do you want to let anybody know about how you could hear humming just now?
I can.
For folks
I've got the gift, and I can hear people talking to me. And
for people back home, Gary is what we would call a clairaudient. So he can sometimes hear stuff that I can't hear. And sometimes we'll show up at investigation. He'll get a name, and then we get out of the car and we walk in, and the name is somebody that lived there. Or he don't understand what the messages always mean. Sometimes he gets a sentence or stuff like carrying a conversation. But most time he just gets like a little quick, like he heard somebody, like a woman humming here a little bit ago, and then he's heard the lady. But you heard that though, was it? Like you actually heard the lady say, "Why are you in my house?" Like it was a disembodied voice. So he can only hear out of one ear, really. So when he hears stuff and there's nobody hears anything, we know he's being more of a clairaudient. You have to turn it off of a night so you can go to sleep, don't you? You sound a bunch of. Can you explain to the folks back home how that goes if you don't turn it off?
I don't cut it off, I can cut it on or cut it off. So if I cut it off, then I can pretty well rest at night. But if I leave it on, I don't get a bit of rest. I'm more tossing and tumbling.
People trying to give you messages and
Yeah.
spirits and
Mostly if I pass the cemetery, there's people like my brother lives in Cadiz, Kentucky, and I go to see him every now and then. And to turn in on his road, there's a cemetery, and it's a pretty old cemetery, but they recognize my vehicle, and they try to get me to stop, and I have to turn them off. It looks silly standing out in a cemetery just talking. REM pod going on.
yeah, REM pot was it's ticking now. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm a good 4 feet away from it.
So if it's ticking, maybe ask it if it could really just kind of grab that antenna and really set that thing off.
Yeah. See if you can, maybe you could communicate with her. Say, hey, we want to.
Can you grab that antenna and really make it go off?
Because what we're wanting to see
Or
is
maybe-
we want it to go off when we ask it
Or
to,
maybe
because that's
hit the
giving us an
cowbell and
intelligent
make it
response.
ding. I know you bothered the cat ball, so I know you can do that. So you can, that's just called a REM pod. If you can touch that antenna, we will know that you are really actually here.
Come up and grab a hold of that antenna coming out of that box. We would appreciate it. Or if you could let Gary know why you're still here, or your name, or how you passed. We'd like to know how you passed. Is there some kind of closure you need? Is that why you're still here? Do you need help with some closure? Or now's your opportunity. You didn't know we were coming, did you? I wonder, does the neighbor lady Laura want us to come over there? Or?
No, so she said, it kind of just spooked her a little bit. She heard some noise and stuff, so she's sitting outside. I asked her if she wanted us to shut it down, because we don't want to cause any kind of problems with anybody or, make anybody uncomfortable. And she said she is good with it. Maybe just reach out there to the spirit that maybe you're communicating with. Hey, stay over here with us. We want you over here. We want some interactions.
See, man, with Gary's gift, it's kind of intermittent. It's like if they want to come say something, sometimes he can try to communicate with them, but if they don't want to communicate, then he's had
about 20 degrees colder right here where I'm at.
Oh, really? Well, I can get my temperature gun and we can check you.
I'm getting chill ball.
I know Gary's had some people in the family that had passed, and he's tried to communicate with them, and if they don't want to. Didn't you tell me once they go to the light, you can't talk to them anymore?
Mm-mm. I've got chill ball on my arm.
All right, well, hold tight.
Cat ball going off again.
Oh, cat ball. Hold your arm out there. Why my laser not working?
So that's 3 hits on the cat ball.
Yeah.
And, this is live. Everybody can completely see.
89 degrees.
Nobody's messing with that
90,
cat ball.
90 degrees. 87. So that arm is 3 degrees colder. And I don't know, you got some hair standing up there a little bit. Oh. I felt like a little static on my left arm. All right, hold on there, Gary. I got another device. You're going to love this one. I've used this one to validate my own findings before. This is the static electricity meter. So, should be able to zero it out. All right, hold out that arm. Okay, stay. Oh, we're getting a little red down here. Red is, wait a minute,
positive, blue's negative. Okay, I'm gonna reset negative. Let's check this arm. This one, is it still feeling that way, or does it feel different now? It's gone now.
It's gone now.
Wait a minute, we're getting negative right here. Wasn't the other arm positive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, it's so bright. Okay, positive is red. Okay, we'll reset it. So you were getting red. Well, now we're getting negative up on this part of your arm. Let's check your other arm.
Okay, now you said this is a static meter.
Static meter. Now we're checking this arm. Now he's getting see, he's getting. Okay, dang it. The static just changed. That's weird. Okay, it's. Dang it. It's so bright. Hang on a second. Okay, the red is positive, blue's negative. All right, it's reset. So let's see what we got. You feeling anything? Nothing? You're not feeling nothing. Staying green. Okay, let's check your other arm. Feeling anything on this arm? Staying green. I'm feeling something on this arm a little bit, on my arm, but right in here, but probably nothing. Nope, it's just nothing. It's not going off now. I was at a house one time, and my one whole arm felt cold and staticky, and I was getting like static on one arm, and the other arm would stay green. Like I felt like a little static here, but it's. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's staying green.
Right, went negative.
Oh, that's took it away, my arm. But let something come over here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it'll change colors if the static changes. Most time you go around it.
So you kind of want to wipe that over you when you say you get like those goosebumps or kind of those chill feels.
Like I'll rub it on my belly real fast, like you rub a balloon on your head. See, I made static. See it turn red?
Right.
I did that. Yeah, so I try to hold it away from stuff.
REM pod going off again.
Oh, was REM pod going off? So I break this thing out. If somebody starts getting the hair on their arm standing up or feeling the chill, I break that and the temperature gun out. This temperature gun, it's like one of those, you use it to check your furnace, whatever. It's a laser, and just wherever. Like it's staying about, looks like 76 degrees pretty much everywhere in here. 77 by our REM pot. Cowbell is 75. The other cowbell is 75. I'm running 91 and 91. Gary's 89 on that arm, and he's 93 on that arm. This arm's running colder than that arm, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 90. Gary's had some heart surgery, so we got to keep an eye on him.
Well, and what's so, I just want to remind everybody what's so neat about this cow, the cowbell kind of moving, the cat balls going off, the REM pod going off. We don't set nothing up because we want truth. We go into a lot of this stuff trying to debunk things, and, we'll do multiple investigations, and you go hours and nothing happens. You've actually had a lot of hits in a very, very short amount of time.
Yeah. We had stuff getting knocked over while we were doing the podcast. I haven't heard anything in a while. Have you? Turn this headlight off. Is it communicating with you at all, Gary, or other than the humming? Was it a song she was humming?
I don't know. I don't recognize it.
Oh,
the only when she was doing the cowbell.
I'm pretty excited about the Paramoo. I wish it would have went ding, but I'll take any movement as movement.
Maybe look back at your cat ball and, ask, hey, is this so-and-so? Is this lady? Can you make that go off? And let's see if we can get an intelligent response.
Oh, lady of the house. We would love to hear from you right now. If you could make a noise,
move your camera over to that cat ball so we'll all see it and they can see that nobody's around it.
Can you see it, Vinny? Do I need to lower it?
No, it looks good. Yeah, you can see it on there. We can't see the REM pod, but we can see the chair.
Can you come over here and hit that cat ball? Gary made you a cake over here. It looks like somebody already had a piece. Was that you? You eating Gary's cake? Would you like a piece of cake? Because he'll share. He made a big cake. Gary's a pretty good catch, ladies. He made beef noodles and he baked the cake and iced it himself, and it's a double layer cake. Kind of got to throw that in there. This guy not only hears stuff, talking to him, he's a pretty good cook too. Give you a free plug there, Gary.
Here, I'm going to kind of make your screen a little bit bigger.
I'm going to try to tap on this
You're
just to
doing
see
this
how
so we can really see it.
I'm going to show what it takes to actually make the cat ball go off. See, I'm banging on this chair. So I had to hit it pretty hard to get it to go off. See, I've got 2 cat balls. This one didn't go off. See, I got another one here, right there. It did not. It was just that cat ball and the bell.
I hear that popping in here.
Yeah, did somebody just come in the door? Who just come in the door? Did somebody come in? What is that? It sounded like somebody literally just walked in the door and the door's shut. He's going out to check. Okay, I'm in here by myself. You want to come and talk to me? Oh, lady of the house. I hear you was a security guard up there at the Dollar General. This is Scottsville is home of the original Dollar General. They moved their headquarters down there to Tennessee. I would think with as many Dollar Generals as there are all over the United States, surely there's got to be something paranormal going off in one of them. The one by me in Plano, they built it over an old car repair shop. And the ladies told me sometimes they'll come in the morning, there's stuff knocked off the shelves. And I'm thinking, well, is it a cat or, a critter? And I've offered to investigate, but if Dollar General people are watching, we'll investigate any store, warehouse, any place you got if you just would like to have it investigated. I don't know if you want the publicity if you do find something.
You remember Miss Betty that went on a cake?
Yeah. We got another neighbor lady actually came over. Were you coming in the door a minute ago?
Yeah.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
Okay. Debunked. It was this lady. It was Betty from the next door.
Say hi to everybody, Betty.
Hello, everybody.
And are you from Scottsville?
I'm from Glasgow, really.
But you live in Scottsville now.
I live here.
How do you like it here?
I like it here.
Have you had any kind of... Oh, the dogs just set off the REM pot. Have you had any kind of activity going on around your place? Or
Only 2 different times, like when I went to bed, it felt like somebody put their hand on my shoulder. 2 different times that happened.
Wow. That freak you out pretty bad? Or
I just thought it was an angel doing it.
I would hope that's what it would be. If I woke up, something's grabbing me, or...
It didn't grab me. It just laid its hand on my shoulder.
And you were by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't having like a weird dream or anything?
I hadn't even went to sleep.
Because I had a dream one time that a bear... I was in a tent sleeping, and I had this dream that the bear put his paw on me, and I was sleeping in a truck going down the road, and my duffel bag fell off the shelf and landed on my chest while I was sleeping, and in my dream, I felt this bear grabbing me, and I woke up, and it was the duffel bag laid on my belly, so I was like,
No,
so if something touches you in your sleep, you can feel it in the dream, it'll freak you out. What's that?
Her temperature. See what it is.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you got something going? You feeling anything? Or?
No.
All right, hold your arms out there, everybody. We'll see what you got. You are 82, and this arm is 84.
Is that good?
I don't. Let's try that again. Let's see. 82. Let's do this one. Hold it straight. There we go. 84. So your one arm's 2 degrees warmer than the other. Gary's was like, I think 2 or 3 degrees. I don't know. Let me check mine.
Grandpa.
92 and
Grandpa.
92. Is it still going on?
It was a blinking.
Well, let's turn this around for the folks back home. Hopefully, I'm gonna lower this down a little bit, Vinny.
The cowbell a while ago, it was doing this. It wasn't.
Sorry about all that movement, folks back home.
And then the cat ball went off.
This was going off just a second ago. The other thing is, if you are doing a live, you want to keep your phones a good 4 or 5 feet away from any equipment because your cell phone will set it off. A lot of times, if we're in a real small space, we will put everything in airplane mode. So, but I don't think our live's setting anything off because we're back far enough. If it was our live, everything would be going off constantly, continuous. It's not. So I try to be real careful with that. The other thing you don't want to do is like I've got this recorder watch because I get tired of holding recorders. If you have an Apple Watch, be real careful around your equipment because it'll set it off, especially K2 meters. Or if you get around Wi-Fi, like Gary's he doesn't have Wi-Fi, but he's got Wi-Fi cable. So if I come over here and you guys watch this thing, see it going off? His router's right behind this curtain. And this is how we debunk a lot of stuff. We get in the house, and within 10 minutes, I can find all your routers and all your devices. So that's the router setting that off. Now, when I get over here, I did that, sorry. When I get over here, see, it'll stop. See, it's not doing it now. Then when I go over here by the router, here we go. It's all the way to red. That thing's giving off a lot of energy, so I would advise Gary not to sleep by that window in his kitchen. But see, it's not going off now. So these are really good devices to be able to detect, where your routers are. If you're getting EMF, some of them have meters. Will tell you how much. I've got an industrial one too, but I don't know if it'll go off, but we'll try it. You hear anything, Gary? Anything trying to talk or?
I remember the woman's last name, but I can't think of her first name, but I know her last name.
I do have a spirit box. We can turn on a spirit box real quick. So this is an industrial one. These have more shielding in them. These are more like what your electricians use and whatnot. The K2 meter has a lot of the shielding removed, so it's way more sensitive to your EMFs and different things. It's also got a seismic meter. So if you're running a spirit box and you got a speaker, don't set this on the same table because the speaker, just the bass, watch me tap it, see it going off. It picks up vibration too. This one will not. This one's industrial.
Hey,
Hey. Yeah.
So we still got some more time and stuff. Why don't we do everybody can kind of see it in case they haven't seen it, do a spirit box session real quick.
Yeah. I'm just going to see if my
industrial
one goes off.
Get it all set up and everything, and we'll tune in and do that little session and kind of see how that goes.
So you see how the router was setting off the K2? It won't set off this industrial one. So the K2 is much more sensitive with the shielding removed. I'll get the spirit box. We'll fire that bad boy up. Where do you think we should do the spirit box session at, Gary? Kitchen, bathroom? What do you think? Kitchen.
That's where we've had activity.
Yeah, I'd set it over there right next to your cat ball and stuff. Maybe we can get it to go off the same time something responds.
All right, so there's different versions. There's like SB7. This is an SB11. This one is dual channel, dual frequency. So it has AM and FM. And you can make it sweep forward or reverse. I like to do like AM. I'll do like AM reverse, FM forward, about the same sweep rates. And we can ask questions. And the whole premise of it is that spirits can manipulate this thing. And you can hear their
here once in a while you get a word. They're picking out like stuff out of radio stations and whatnot, and they'll get a word and it'll come through. I've seen some work really good and get really clear answers, and at other times it just makes a lot of noise and gibberish. But we're gonna give her a whirl. This thing will also detect temperature drops. Okay, we're firing it up. I'm going to set this one on FM. Make sure I'm on. It'll do AM, FM, or dual. We're doing dual. So this one's on AM, one's on FM. And we're going to go with our sweep rate. I set them about 200. And we'll set this one on about 200. So they're the same sweep rate. We're going to go forward on this one. We're going to go reverse on this one. I'm not really getting anything. Kind of weird. Anybody here? Turn it up a little bit louder so you can hear it. I'm going to go forward that one. I'm going to go reverse with this one. Anybody here? Can you tell us your name? Hello? Getting something, huh? Can you tell us why you're here? What's your favorite color? Some people can very easily tell what it's saying. I have a hard time. So sitting up here by the cat ball? Or, I did that. You want to talk to us? Furnace moving it pretty good. I think this thing may have set the cat ball off. I'm going to move it. Put that little vibration. Can you guys hear that thing, Vinny? Can you hear it? Folks back home? I'm going to switch this to reverse on this one. Forward on this one. You want to talk to us? Why are you hanging out in this apartment?
You think it's yours? You like Gary's chicken curtains? Get anything, Gary? What was that? I don't use these a lot. I've had some places where it's real clear. Hello? What's your name? What is your purpose with the fan here? Is that AC on over there? It just now put on. The AC just kicked on and it's blowing around the cowbells. But earlier it was not on when it was moving. So we're trying to debunk that, make sure it wasn't the AC doing it. Because it's moving both cowbells right now, and that wasn't the case earlier. It was actually swinging more than that. So because Gary's curtains are moving and everything right now. I'll have to play that back.
Huh? Just said that the woman that lived here, her sister,
Yeah?
said that she was kind of upset with her family because they didn't come around her or something about it.
Yeah?
At the flu or something. She wanted to go stay at her family's. And her sister had to take chemo treatment and didn't want to come over there because of the germs.
Yeah, yeah.
So they didn't know she was that sick.
I don't know. What do you think? I don't think we're getting anything on this thing. You? I'm going to kill it. Yeah, if it's just going, I don't hear any words or anything coming through.
I've got her name.
Oh, well. Well, we don't know if we want that yet. Maybe later. Miss Betty was just saying, I guess the lady was really sick and her family had chemo and she wanted to come stay with them and they didn't want her coming over because of germs and whatnot because she had the chemo. So
the sister thought she might have didn't take her insulin that night and
she may have been diabetic.
Yeah, she was.
Could be.
Maybe she's so sick she forgot to take it and then she died. She died on the couch.
Sugar went low. Maybe well, she didn't take her insulin. It might have went high. Yeah. Wonder where the couch was.
Over here.
Oh, you know where the couch was? Oh, Betty's got new intel.
It's right here.
Right here. That's where the fiddle was making a noise.
She had a bed here. She got rid of her bed and bought her a couch and put the couch here and that's where she died.
So right about where this desk is and the
No, I'll put it here.
Oh, over here? Okay, so right about where our equipment boxes are right now is where the lady of the house had passed away, right in this area. And we believe she may have been diabetic and maybe she was really sick and didn't take her insulin or forgot. We don't know. We think it could have been sugar, diabetes related. What Betty knows the family, and that's what they kind of told her they think happens. So not sure if we really know. I don't know if there was ever a cause of death reported out or anything.
She had been dead about a week before they found her.
It was a week before they found her. That's what Gary was saying earlier. Well, that's the spot right there. Are you still hanging around in here where you had passed? Or are you still kind of hanging around? Or I think you're mobile. We've been getting stuff moving around in this kitchen and stuff over here on this desk.
Her kitchen table was over here.
Her kitchen table was over here, according to Betty. Betty, resident expert. How long have you lived in this apartment area?
3 years.
3 years. So this was pretty recent.
This was last year. She died around October 17th.
Oh,
They
wow.
found her the 24th.
Oh, wow. So when did Gary and Mama move in?
Moved here in January of this year.
So the place wasn't empty very long.
Mm-hmm.
They probably had to bring in.
No, there's another lady moved in here after that.
Oh, wow. She didn't stay very long? Because of the activity, maybe, or don't know?
I don't know.
Did you know her or meet her?
Just speaking to her, so friends with her.
Any idea why the neighbor's apartment might be active, or?
Well, there was another lady lived there, but before her, there was a man, and he was kind of mentally messed up.
Yeah. But don't know if. You only know if someone passed away in this apartment.
Yeah.
Wow. Heard anything, Gary?
Yes, outside. I walked outside and she said, "Are y'all trying to run me off?"
I don't know. Are you, or you just wanting to communicate?
I said, "We're not running nobody off. We're just here trying to find out things."
Does she want to come back in here? And we got about 10 minutes. At least on air.
It's okay. I mean, I explained it to her. She said it's okay.
You haven't been grabbed or anything, or?
Yes.
You have?
Not here.
Oh. I know at Waverly Hills we went up there, something grabbed you.
Yeah. It was a 17-year-old girl that grabbed me.
Now tell the folks back home what you told me. As soon as we pulled up to Waverly Hills and we walked in, what did you hear?
What did I hear?
Yeah.
I heard Mary White. That was when we was out on the balcony. I heard Mary White, and then we asked the guide who was Mary White, and she said there was a lot of Marys.
Yeah.
Here. But later on in the night, we went out back, and another team came down and asked the same question that I asked: who was Mary White? And come to find out, the guide said that Mary White was the one that hung herself in.
I don't know if that was her name or not. Unless they had more than one hanging there. You know, there's a famous hanging up on the 5th floor. But remember what you told me as soon as we got there? What were you hearing everywhere in that place?
Kids.
Yeah.
I heard kids on the 3rd floor.
I know as soon as we got there, you kept saying there's like kids laughing and playing in here.
They was laughing and playing. I heard doors slam. The 4th floor,
Kathleen.
We've seen faces in the hallway, and we heard a chuckle, sound like a male chuckle.
Yeah, Waverly's pretty active. What do you think? Are your residents going to come back in and set off some equipment or make an appearance again? Or
I don't know.
It sure would be nice. But
I told her she was more welcome to come and stay here.
We got a lot of information. Miss Betty, you've been very helpful. You know a lot about this. You kind of
The
helped
lady
us.
that died, she loved cats.
Ah.
Fed all kinds of cats over here.
Sounds like the furnace is going to kick on again or something, Gary. I don't know.
I wish she'd make the cat ball go off again.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you can ask her, but it don't mean she's going to do it. She's worried about you running her off. She may not want to do anything else. If you come and move something, we promise we're not going to run you off.
Would you come back and set the cat ball off again? One more time?
Gary's going to try to sleep tonight. There'll be all kind of shit falling off the walls. Damn it, Gary! Why did you bring them people
I
here?
know the lady was very helpful. She liked to help people.
Well, we like to help people too. That's why that's why we're here, to help Gary, see if we can help figure out what's going on. And we get a lot of home visits. People call us in.
We got 3 cat balls in in the kitchen. Can you shut them off? All three of them.
We promise we won't say nothing bad about you. We heard you were a pretty nice lady feeding the cats and helping people. Some investigations, nothing goes off all night. So it's been pretty interesting. We've had a few things go off. And then sometimes it gets real active and then it goes quiet again. It's like, I don't know. It's like they need more energy or something. I got batteries. You need some bad energy? We're not trying to run you off. We're just trying to figure out why you're hanging around and we can help you. Sometimes I know we went to up by E-Town. There was we drove by a railroad track and you heard a guy yelling for help.
Yeah.
And what did you tell him?
I don't remember.
You usually tell them the same thing. Every time you hear from one, you always tell them the same thing.
I know I told you to stop.
Yeah.
And you stopped. And he told me he got hit by a train.
Yeah, we were rolling over the train track. And then you kept saying box truck, and the guy got hit apparently. But then what did you tell him to do? You tell him all the same thing.
I normally tell them to go to the light.
And then what happens if
some of them do and some of them don't?
What happens to the ones that do?
They go to be with their family.
I mean, then what happens with your interaction at that point?
And my interaction at that point is I asked them if they see the light and they say, yeah. I said, well, go to the light. And I had a girl one night ask me that, and she was thanking me the whole time. So it's pretty awesome when you get them to go to the light.
What happens after they go to the light?
They don't come back.
I mean, you're listening to these things and talking to them, and then they go to the light. Then what?
They just thank me and say, I see mom, I see dad, or they'll.
Then what happens? Do you hear from them anymore? Or?
Don't hear no more.
It's just like once they go to the light, it's done. It's done. The interaction's over at that point.
Interaction's over, and so
I've heard of other.
The light. If you see the light, go to it. You know.
I've heard of other like medium psychics, that type of thing, and I've heard them say, tell them to go to the light. But then you're the only one I've talked to that told me you don't hear them no more once they go to the light. But I think that's true for other psychic type people too. Once they go wherever they need to go, I don't know. There's different abilities. Like you're more of a clairaudient. You don't see stuff. You just hear stuff talking to you once in a while.
I do have a friend that sees in here, so.
Yeah, I know a couple people like that.
His name, but I'm.
Oh, okay. I know who that is. Yeah, some people don't want people knowing about their abilities because they don't want everybody thinking they're crazy and freak out, and their family lock them up. And we know people that's happened to, and it's kind of sad because if they're really hearing something and they got a gift and they can help people, and there's pretty famous ones. There's John Edwards, there's Therese Caputo, all these different psychics, and they help people, and some of them make a pretty good living doing it.
Some of them, some of the people I talk to they don't go to the light. They go wherever they go. I mean,
they like hanging out, and they don't. Or they have unfinished.
Some of them, like the criminals that died and stuff. They don't go to the light.
They're afraid they're going to get judged.
Well, they don't go to the light. They go somewhere else. I don't know where they go, but.
And anybody that's very experienced in this type of thing, I mean, Gary he's discovered this gift he has, but it's like he don't mind if other medium psychics work with him, talk to him, help him develop his skills, that kind of thing. Because sometimes people just start hearing stuff and they get freaked out and they need help. So that's when you go turn to other people who've been doing it a lot longer.
Sometimes I hear people that hear names of people that's alive. Remember?
Yeah.
And haven't never met them in my life. And
yeah, we were driving down the road, and he said this guy named Ernie kept saying hi. Ernie says hi. I said, okay. And I'm thinking, is Ernie a dead guy? He said, nice working with you. And I'm like, I don't remember working with no guy named Ernie. And then we pull up at the cemetery, and there's a black truck, and the guy walks up, and he's like, hi, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Ernie. Ernie Pack with Pac-Man Paranormal. And I go find Gary, and I'm like, Gary, I just met your Ernie. He's not dead. And you mentioned the name Ernie like 4 times on the way to E-Town. We met him at Hell's Gate Cemetery, Casey. We walk up, there's a black F-150. Him and his wife are out there. Really nice folks. Ernie runs Fort Duffield. He does investigations at Fort Duffield up in West Point, Kentucky. And they've also had some sightings of Sasquatch up there. And he lives in a home that he believes is haunted, the Ditto House there.
When we went to Prairieville, we pulled up in the parking lot.
It was Casey. Perryville is where you got General Bragg.
Yeah, General Bragg. Then you went in and found his picture. And
yeah, I actually accused Gary of Googling that stuff on the way there. I'm like, really, General Bragg? And I hadn't really researched that. Well, I walk in the gift shop and like, anybody know about a General Bragg? And he goes, yeah, his book's right there. Most hated general in the Civil War. Well, how we doing on time there, Vinny?
Well, it's about that time.
Well, I don't know if anything else is going to go off. We might hang out for a little. Is it going on? Oh, it is blinking. Blinked a couple times. There it goes. Can you blink it up some more? Can you make it light up more? We'd love it if you'd make all the lights go off. Maybe that's all we're going to get, a couple clicks. I'll take it. But we appreciate everybody tuning in here in Scottsville, Kentucky, over here at Gary's apartment.
Absolutely. And, thanks for letting us come in, Gary, and check that out. And, got some pretty good evidence and stuff and got to see some stuff. So definitely would like to, we could maybe do an all night thing. I'd definitely like to come out. And if there's any time I can sit in there by myself, they kind of send me in areas kind of by myself and we kind of see what things happen and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool to do.
I would love that.
Gary, you have a fan and they've called in and they actually want to know if you ever watched Ron White comedian act, the comedian Tater Salad. They think you sound a lot like him, and the special viewer request just wanted to know if you could say Tater Salad.
Tater Salad.
Well, with that, I think we're going to sign off. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We'll try to get with you next week, Supernatural Sundays. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. And y'all have a good night. Come on.